Good day to you. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Kenny Harper, and with me is Mr. Manny Torres. Say hi, Manny.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, San Diego. Or if you're tuning in later, maybe it's later. And maybe you're not in San Diego. Maybe you're somewhere across the country. I don't know. But you're tuning in, and we're about to share with you some business growth insights. If you're just tuning in now, I'm going to share with you some business growth insights for maximizing strategies for maximizing your profits. It's actually marketing strategies, but they are maximizing strategies too. You know, it's important to know that, money is not buy you happiness. It cannot buy you love, but it can buy you opportunities and freedoms, and you need to pay attention to it. Now, if you're not solely after the money, if you want to contribute to a higher cause or spread a good message, that's great. But you also want to make sure that you have something that is going to generate money, because if you want to be a philanthropist, if you want to grow your business, if you want to spread your message and serve more people, you got to have money coming in. We got to know what that is. It's not how much money you make, how much revenue you make. It's how much money you, what, Manny?
Keep.
All right, so keep. And today, if you're tuning in now, we're going to be talking about a few different things that you can implement in your business. Now, one thing that we're going to talk about is how to be seen, heard, and remembered by creating shock and awe. This is a really cool topic. Most people don't do this. Most people haven't really taken the time to think about this. So we're going to be talking about shock and awe strategies, and tune in for that. We're also going to be talking about what you need to know about life cycle marketing. Life cycle marketing. Some people haven't even heard of life cycle marketing. I think it's a great system to think about, to plan for, and when you do it, it's going to help you grow your business. And last but not least, I'm going to be talking and opening up the discussion for the quickest path to a new reality of prosperity. It's not just about business. It's not just about having fun. It's not just about being able to keep yourself busy. It is about being able to contribute to the greater good and having all that come back and return to you. So, Manny, are you ready to get started?
Definitely. Let's do this.
All right. So if you're tuning in either live or if you're tuning into the replay, we encourage you to engage, share your thoughts and ideas, ask questions. We like to see those likes, those wows, those heart moments, and shares are definitely appreciated, because when you do that, you're also amplifying this message so that other people can hear it, they can put it to action, and it can help them grow their business. So let's start with number one. Be seen, heard, and remembered by creating a shock and awe. Shock and awe. So what is a shock and awe? Manny Torres, what would you call a shock and awe?
Well, obviously, it's something that's going to grab attention. And not only that, it's going to be something that's memorable and something that you'll want to share. So many times our first introduction with people is going to make the biggest impact. So you want to make sure that it's something that's going to be different than everyone else in your industry and something that people are going to remember you from. So it's going to be that shock, but it's also going to be something that's meaningful to you and your business. So that's
an important thing. It is a busy, saturated world. Right now, there are people getting all sorts of different messages. Some people are tuning in. They're saying, wonder what's going on here. And they'll get distracted by the next fluffy kitten video. They'll have somebody text them on their cell phone. They'll be getting emails nonstop, like Tetris, just continuing to come in. And so you've got to do something that is going to stand out. And depending on who you're going to talk to and the importance and the value of that customer, a potential customer, you've got to be able to create something that is going to get their attention. You want to be seen, heard, and remembered, right? If you do a little direct mail piece, like a little card, you maybe get these in the mail, right? Manny, what do you do when you get one of those direct mail pieces?
Usually I grab one of my handy receptacles and pass it in.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of times direct mail doesn't work. And let's say direct mail can work, but it needs to be part of a bigger strategy. You can't just send one piece of direct mail, little postcard, and expect to get business from it. It's just kind of throwing something at the wall and hoping it sticks. That's not a great strategy. But it can, if done correctly, it can begin to get someone's attention it can begin to generate some form of interaction. Rather than trying to sell a service, you could do something that's going to get someone to take the first step. So a direct mail piece is great, number one, because it's going to get to your prospective customer or client. But if you're going to send just a little postcard, what is that telling your prospective client? What do you think, Manny?
Depending on the message, it could show how much you care about them. So if it's very generic, they may think that you don't care at all. Or if you have something that's really personalized, like we received a postcard yesterday that said, there's an offer on the table for your home, and we have a personalized site that talks about your appraisal. Go to mannytorres.buyyourhome.com. That's a little bit different. So it's personalized to me. I feel like, wow, they really took the time and effort to do this. And that's got a little more value for me.
All right. So that does get more attention. So when you start being more strategic, you're thinking about what you're going to create that's going to provide some value, that's going to gain attention. It does not look like the clutter that's coming in from everyone else just saying random generic stuff. It looks a little personalized. It looks a little bit different. It's going to gain some attention. But is it shocking and awing?
No. And it probably would get overlooked with a pile of mail that you typically get.
Right. So when we're thinking about shock and awe, we want to do something that's really going to blow someone away and really get their attention. It's going to guarantee to get their attention just because of how different it is, how the experience is, how fun it is, the value that people get when they open the shock and awe package. All these different things will make a big impression. Now, we've got some examples here. Manny has some examples here, and I'd like to share those with you. So, Manny, if you want to share those examples, sure. That would be great.
Black box.
All right. So, can you put that up in the viewer, because I don't think everyone saw it. Black box. All right. So, looking at this black box. Now, this is a black box. Now, obviously, if you just send a black box to somebody, that's that itself is interesting. Now, how you design that box, it will probably make a difference on the results you get. If you create a black box and it's just a black box, it may be intriguing. If you communicate on that black box something of value, of interest to somebody, it may be even more intriguing. And what's on this black box, Mr. Manny?
So it's the Rising Experts of Influence black box for real estate professionals.
All right, can you hold it up again? Right now, it's getting flipped off. You need to.
Oh, gotcha.
All right, there you go. So hold it back a little bit. So there you go. All right. So in this black box, it's the Rockstar Professionals Experts of Influence black box for realtors, and this was created for realtors, right? So we realized that we had some opportunities last year to get in front of a lot of different realtors, and we could just go out and give them flyers, handouts, things of that nature. But if you wanted to give somebody a shock and awe, being able to send somebody this black box and letting them experience the value that you provide. When you open this black box, right, you get a copy of our book, you get a sheet with some downloads and resources and video trainings. You also get a checklist and some strategies that you can implement in your business specific towards the industry. You get a welcome letter, and you get a ticket to one of our events. And so by creating this package, I mean, even if someone really didn't have the interest to do business right away, you're making an impression. You're definitely letting people know who you are, what you're about, the purpose you serve, why people should do business with you versus someone else, and you're providing massive value. So if there is a potential opportunity, you're going to be seen, you're going to be heard, and you're going to be remembered. People will remember a shock and awe. That is what makes it so powerful. Manny, would you like to weigh in on some other examples of shock and awe?
Yeah, I've got a couple of other ones that we've used in the past. So this is a Authority Marketing Toolkit. So this is just a jewel case that has a thumb drive in it. So you could really put whatever you want on this and customize it to your audience. So it's a quick, easy way that you could make something of value for the specific audience that you're targeting. And it comes in a nice jewel case, and people love gifts. Other ideas, which we've talked about a lot, are books. You know, whether it's a planner, which we've got our 90-day planner, and which people are loving planners nowadays, so they can go in there and plan out their next 90 days, or something that really showcases your authority. Here's another book that Kenny was in, Thought Leaders. So having a book that you can send out is something that's going to sit on people's desks. They're going to remember you, and it's going to make an impression, and you can customize that with a letter as well.
So really simple stuff. Now, if you're going to be sending a package, I don't know, I'm kind of putting you on the spot, Manny, because I don't know if you have it readily available, but do you have one of those covers or any cover or mailing package that's readily available that you could share or showcase? All right, while Manny's looking for that, I want to take over the screen. And so you can send things in normal mail. You can send things in normal mail packaging, right? But if you want to get the attention and get someone's interest and get them to think about it even differently, being creative with how you present something and the experience they have from when they first receive that package to when they open it to the first actions that you direct them to take when they open that package. Because you do want to try to direct the narrative of what you want people to remember, feel, and understand about you, right? And so Manny's back here. Manny, you're joining us back. And so I was just talking about how important it is to have the package customized and unique, so it does grab the attention. If it's just going to look like general mail, it's going to miss the opportunity of having the full shock and awe effect.
Right. So I've got a couple of examples. This isn't a finished product, but it'll give you a great idea of how to grab attention. This is a poly mailer that we just used for a direct mail campaign. And obviously you can see it's very bright, and you can put in this anything that you'd like, and it's going to grab attention, and it's not going to be something that's going to be thrown away. So we utilize this to send a book out to some prospective clients that we were working with, and it's going to be something that really grabs attention. In addition to that, here's a large direct mail piece that was sent out by GKIC for the upcoming super conference. And this is something that's going to stick out in your mailbox, obviously, because it's massive. And not only that, they included value in this. They were given a $250 gas voucher for anybody that attends this event. So not only are you going to see this, but you're going to also know that there's value included with it. So that's going to be a little bit of shock and awe there.
So as we wrap this little thought up, I want you to think about this. If you have a high worth customer, a customer who has a high lifetime value, maybe it's they do small transactions, but they do it for a long period of time. Maybe it's they do one big, large transaction. If you think about who your A-plus prospects are, who you would ideally like to do business with, you could leave it to chance, or you could be a rock star professional and get a shock and awe put together to grab their attention, guide them to the next steps, and ultimately earn their business. So that is something that I suggest doing. And if you, whoa, we got a little bit of thunder out here. I'm not sure if you're hearing that in the background. I might lose power, and if I do, it'll be a short session. But if not, then we'll keep on going. And so if you'd like to learn about how you can create a shock and awe for your business, if you're in a service-based business and you work with people that have a high lifetime value and you're able to offer your products or services, and you'd like to learn how you can get your message in front of more people, attract their attention, and earn their business in a creative, compelling way so that they're coming to you and seeking you out for who you are and what you do, go to rockmyimage.com/breakthrough, and we're offering the opportunity to apply for a free breakthrough session where we'll show you some ideas. We'll also uncover at least 10K of hidden revenue in your business. It's a lot of fun, and we're willing to do this to a select amount of people each month, for a select amount of people each month, as a way to provide value, share the value of what we do. And we know by doing that on a consistent basis, we're serving our mission, and we'll also, the word gets out, and we'll earn business either directly or by referral. So go through to rockmyimage.com/breakthrough to apply for your breakthrough session. All right, so now the next session in our talk today, we're talking about what you need to know about lifecycle marketing. Oh, there comes that thunder a little bit louder this time.
That was almost timed perfectly.
Timed perfectly. Lifestyle marketing. What is lifestyle marketing? It sounds interesting. It's relatively new in my ears. And I don't know if a lot of people have really thought about lifestyle or life cycle marketing. If I've been saying lifestyle, pardon me, but it's life cycle marketing. Manny, can you tell us about life cycle marketing?
Right. So as most people know, your customers have a life cycle that they're doing business with you. But unfortunately, most people only work on the front end of the cycle, which is acquiring that new customer or client. With Lifecycle, you don't stop marketing to them after you acquire them. It's an ongoing process. So it becomes a cycle that's going to not only retain those clients, but also find ways to generate new clients from those raving customers that you have.
So when you're thinking about Lifecycle, let's walk through the stages. And I want you, if you're tuned in right now, to think about how this is going to apply to your business and really think about how you stack up in each of these areas. Because if we don't take the time to do a self-reflection, we don't take the time to really think about what we can do to improve our lifestyle marketing, lifecycle marketing, then we're missing a lot of opportunities, and that will affect your bottom line. So this is why it's important. So the first thing in the life cycle is you got to get someone's attention. You got to be seen, right? You got to have visibility. You got to get someone's attention, let them know you're there, let them know the value you can provide, why they should do business with you versus someone else, right? So what are you doing right now to get that message out there? Some people get just enough business to pay the bills and maybe just enough to just grow just a little bit, but they're not really putting out a consistent message with a system, with a plan. So how would you grade yourself on a scale of 1 to 5? All right, so now you have visibility. Now, if you're going to be visible, that's great. Some people put out boosts on their Facebook posts. That's awesome. Some people put out videos and they'll put them out on a regular basis. Some people do direct mail, right? And you have people doing these things, but are they attracting leads? What is your strategy from being visible to attracting leads? So one of the things that I've seen a lot of people miss the opportunity is just not even having any form of lead magnet. Manny, can you give us a little bit of enlightenment on what a lead magnet is?
Sure. It's something that's going to provide value that your prospective clients, patients, or customers want in exchange for their email address. So it's a way that they can learn more about you. They feel like they get a quick win. And in return, they give you their information so that you can continue that conversation with them.
So there you go. Example would be, we give out a free chapter of Amplify Your Business. It's our best book, and you can go to amplifyyourbusiness.rocks. That's amplifyyourbusiness.rocks. If you go there, you'll be able to download a free chapter of the book. And you also, if you download the free chapter, get the opportunity to get some free resources that are included in the book. And that does two things. So number one, we're putting something out of value. When people tune into this book, they're going to get some strategies right away that they can implement in their business and grow their business. They'll be able to take a small assessment, and it'll help them out. It's also going to let them know a little bit about who we are, the value we provide, and how we need to be able to help them. So it's not about us, it's about the people we serve. And same thing for your lead magnet. It's not about you, it's about the people you serve. So I see sometimes people miss the mark here because they're trying to put something out that's all about them and what they're doing in their business, and they don't think about what would be valuable to the prospect. So when you're thinking about your lifestyle marketing, if I'm going to do this anymore, I'm going to be fired from this show. I'm going to be fired from the show. We're talking about life cycle marketing, and we're talking about the first thing you need to do when you're thinking about generating more leads is the value that you can provide and being able to put out a lead magnet. So you put out a lead magnet and you track someone's leads. What's the next step after you have someone as a lead, Manny? What's the next part they need to consider in the life cycle marketing? So
once you've attracted that ideal prospect that you want to work with, you obviously need to convert that into a sale. How can you get them to take that next step?
Now, Manny and I run a mastermind for business professionals. And recently we were working with some of our mastermind attendees, and we were sharing some ideas that are important. A lot of people think if they're trying to sell a service or a product, that the first goal should be to sell the service or the product. And you can make that offer, you can put that out there. But some people, in fact, 99% of people are not ready to buy something right away the first time they meet you, right? So you need to have a strategy that's going to get them to take maybe the first step. And Manny has a story that he shared with the mastermind member about why having something a smaller ticket is really a good first step to get someone to grow with you.
Right. So there's a mental switch that goes off in your brain when you exchange money for services. Even if it's a small amount, in your mind, you are now a customer of this person. So the story goes that a great person by the name of Laura Langmeyer, who's a famous finance maven out there, and she was talking to a financial advisor and talked to him about having something small that he could sell, and said, if someone buys a book from you, now if another financial advisor came up to that customer that you had just sold a book to and said, I'd like to do business with you, let's have a conversation, that person would say, hey, I'm already doing business with a financial advisor. I appreciate it, but I'm already working with someone. Because in their mind, they've already started doing business with that financial advisor, even if they had only purchased just a book. So just that small little transaction changes their perception of that person. And we all know that buyers are more likely to buy again. So once you can get that first step, there's a higher likelihood that they're going to buy additional products and services from you.
Right. So rather than trying to just focus on the product or service that would be the end goal, being able to take a step back and downsell to a different opportunity that would get someone to take that first step. So that financial advisor, rather than saying, I'm going to work your whole portfolio, which is a big step, right? What can they offer? What would be helpful to get someone to take that first step? And that book would be really great to provide value, provide information, and be able to explain their unique approach to helping someone grow their business. So that's a really great example of, getting someone to convert from being just a lead to now they've taken that first transaction. And once you've had that first transaction, you can then nurture that relationship and work to grow their business to do business with you full on, right? And
Right.
Once you've earned that business and they are your customer or your client, a lot of people make the mistake and they're not thinking about the life cycle, and they'll continue to look forward to the next business, and they won't take the time. They don't have strategies in place to really keep in tune with their existing customers, to let them know that you're thinking about them and the different value you can provide, the other services or things that you can provide. And that's part of the lifestyle marketing. Not to mention, once you get someone to take that first step, right? Once you get somebody to become your customer, and now you're nurturing them and you're trying to elevate them, if you continue to focus on them and continue to show them your attention, your dedication to them, you're going to rise that person up to potentially be an advocate or referral source for your business if you have a strategy to do that. All of these things take systems. And if you don't have systems to really implement the different parts of the life cycle, you don't have systems in your life cycle marketing, then you're missing the opportunity to be playing every ace and getting the maximum amount from the customers that are in your wheelhouse. So think about each of those steps: the visibility, the generating the leads, the converting the first sale, to nurturing and elevating and extending the number of transactions that people do with your company, to elevating someone to be a referral source or an advocate for your company. Think about where you're at with each of those. Do you have systems in place? And if you don't, we want to make sure that we're giving you the opportunity again to apply for your business breakthrough. We can help you look at these things in your business and help you see the opportunity that you may not be seeing. In fact, we typically, on average, cover at least 10K of hidden revenue in people's business on a regular basis through these breakthrough sessions. And some of these breakthrough sessions, we'll feature some of these people who do these sessions with us in our upcoming book and share the success that they're able to do in their business and some of the things that they found out by going through the session. So if you haven't done this yet, I highly recommend going through this. Apply today. We only do a few each month, and they get filled up quickly. So if you're looking to do this, go ahead and apply now. And even if you aren't selected at this particular time, you could be at least in queue to get a session in the future. So that's rockmyimage.com/breakthrough. And last but not least, go ahead.
Before we move on, I wanted to add one more thing in terms of that lead magnet and also that first sale. These things should not only be attracting your ideal client, but it should also be repelling people that you don't want to do business with. For a lot of businesses, leads isn't a problem for them. They have tons of leads. What they need is more time. So what you can actually do is start to filter those prospects so that you're not wasting time on people that are unaligned with your values or your business, so that you can start working with those ones that are going to turn into raving fans versus just taking on any business that's there. So it's a twofold thing. It's not only attracting, but it's also repelling. So I just want to make that comment so that people can keep that in mind when they're developing these lead magnets and first smaller products in their value ladder.
Super cool. All right, now the quickest path to a new reality of prosperity. Now, it is a known fact that most small businesses are just kind of floating right at surface level, just making enough to pay bills, and they're not necessarily amplifying their business to the max full potential. And a lot of the times they're missing a couple things. And I'm going to give you those steps, and I've worked as a consultant and a coach with business owners and entrepreneurs, and it all comes down to these things. Number one, you need to have a bold vision of what you're trying to create. You need to have a clear understanding, a visualization of the business that you want to create and how that works for your lifestyle. We suggest thinking about the lifestyle that you want first. If you want to be able to travel, if you want to be able to afford certain amount of material possessions, if you want to be able to have certain types of people that you work with or serve a particular mission, you need to think about what that is and build the business around that. People sometimes do it backwards, and they build the business first, and they try to fit their life into the business. Now, if that's you, that's okay. You can still turn it around, but you need a strategy. So start off with a bold vision. The next thing, now, Manny Torres, I remember we've heard this from good old Steve Gornson's, great, awesome guy, and it's about staying above the line. Do you remember what above the line is?
Sure. It's being accountable, taking ownership, and forgot the R. I know it's or. So the last one, it's responsibility. Responsibility. All right. So it's accountability, ownership, and responsibility. And being able to do this for yourself is highly important. You're accountable for all the things that you need to be doing in your business. You take ownership for the results that you have or don't have in your business. You take the responsibility to do the things that need to be done to get the results you want. Now, I offer these breakthrough sessions, and so I'll go around and speak at different places to different organizations, different companies. I got the opportunity to travel different places in the country, and I find a lot of different business owners. Some of them are really successful. They're doing things great, and those types of businesses that typically help to uncover hidden revenue that they're just not seeing because they're focused on different parts of the business. Now, there's other businesses that are challenged, and they're not getting the results they want. And for those businesses, what I typically find out is that they're working so much in their business, right, that they're not working on their business. And when they're not working on their business and focusing on the key areas in their business to grow it, then that's going to keep them in a stagnant, flat rate of growth. So if you're looking to change that, you've got to take the accountability, the ownership, and the responsibility to start working on the things that are going to matter most. Most people say, I don't have time to do that. I don't have the resources to do that. So how are you going to get the resources and the time if you don't do the things that are most important first? First things first. And last but not least is the self-discipline and the habits that you create. A lot of people are looking for freedom. They got into being a business owner or into sales or to be an entrepreneur because they want the freedom in their lives.
But in order to have freedom, before you can have freedom, you need discipline. You need to have the right habits. Discipline and taking the right actions on a regular basis, consistently, habitually, is the pathway to the freedom that you're searching for. So it's important to understand these things and have a system, a plan, things holding you accountable to achieve those goals that you set out to achieve. If you're not putting yourself in a situation that is going to give you that power, or is going to give you the guidance and direction to create those new habits, then you're fighting an uphill battle. So that's, we are on a mission to inspire and empower 100,000 entrepreneurs and business owners around the country, around the world, actually. And that's why we do these business breakthroughs. And so we're offering them on these sessions. If you want to have a business breakthrough, uncover 10K or more in revenue in your business, go to rockmyimage.com/breakthrough. You're going to have a great experience. You learn a lot of things that you can do in your business to grow it, to have more profits, giving you more freedom. But the first step is taking action. So take action. Manny, Torres, do you have any closing thoughts that you'd like to share?
I've got a quick story. Some of you may have heard this. There were two twins that both grew up in an impoverished family, broken family. Father had left, and the twins grew up, and one of them became extremely successful, and the other ended up in jail. And 20 years down the line, someone decided to do an interview with both of the twins to find out what happened. And they go to the one that was in jail and they say, how did you end up here? He said, well, how could I end up anywhere else? I grew up in poverty. My father had left. I never had a role model. There was no way I could end up anywhere else. Now they came back and they did the interview with the successful twin. And they said, how could you end up here? And he goes, how could I end up anywhere else? I grew up impoverished. I didn't have a father. I never wanted to settle for something like that. I wanted to build something greater for my children. And it's all about the mindset and how you take what you're given, but create what you want. And that's just a quick reminder of creating your own goals and vision of what you want to build.
Super cool. So I will leave you with these final thoughts. Today we talked about, you're just getting the wrap up right now, we talked about how to be seen, heard, and remembered by creating a shock and awe. You want to make sure that you're doing something different that's going to gain attention and guide people to take the right actions. If you don't have a strategy for this, we can help you out with one. Also, what you need to know about lifecycle marketing, you got to be thinking of the big picture and how all this stuff interacts, how to be visible, how to guide people to take the next step with you, how to continue that relationship after that first conversion and create advocates for your business or brand. And then last but not least, the quickest path to a new reality of prosperity is to have a bold vision, take the ownership, accountability, and responsibility to take the actions to put yourself in a system or community that's going to help you grow, challenge you to greatness, and hold you accountable to get the results that you want. So thanks for tuning in. My name is Kenny Harper, and with me is Manny Torres, and we invite you to continue to tune in to this program. If you like something, go ahead and give us a little shout out. If you have a question or a comment or something that you'd like to see in a future session, go ahead and chat that in. And again, we appreciate any likes or shares. Manny Torres, any closing thoughts?
No, I think you covered it all. Everyone have an awesome week. Get your mojo going. If you've, I heard a recent story talking about mojo being the biggest impact for your life. And if you're in a place where you feel like you're in a rut, just do something that's going to help extend you out of that and get a new streak going so that you can get the mojo moving forward.
Mojo. All right, so we see some likes, and I want to thank some people that I'm now seeing have given some love. So thank you to April Tap. Awesome. Good to see that you're on here. Nick Racino.
What's up, Nick?
Apparently was missing these earlier. CB Jackson and Lori Anderson Green. Thank you very much for your likes. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to chat that in. And again, we appreciate any shares. Sometimes people think, oh, I gave a like, that's great. but the shares do help spread this message to other people, giving them the ideas that can help them in their business, helps us serve our mission. So those are definitely appreciated, and we'll catch you on the next show. Thank you very much.